Order. Questions to the Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, this morning I had meetings with ministerial colleagues and others, and in addition to my duties in this House, I shall have further such meetings later today. Volvo is continuing to grow our economy and create jobs, and I'm sure he will be pleased to know that in terms of the long-term economic plan, a new statistic has come out today, which is we used to say there were 400,000 new businesses in Britain. I can now tell the House that since 2010 there are 760,000 new businesses in Britain. I think my honourable friend makes an important point, which is there's a debate on Wales in the House today, but not a debate about the health service in Wales, which the NHS in Wales is in trouble, and that's because of hard-working doctors and nurses. We should absolutely reaffirm that aim, and anyone who watched the television programme on Winterbourne View, like me, would have been absolutely shocked about the way people with learning disabilities are treated, and everybody knows this has been a problem for years and decades, not for a few months, that we've got to do more to get people out of hospitals and into loving and caring homes in the community. The reason that we commissioned this report from Sir Stephen Bubb, and it's an excellent report, is because the commitment to get all the people out of the hospitals hadn't been met. And what Sir Stephen has done, I think, is come up with good ideas for how we bring together the health service and local authorities to make sure that people with learning disabilities are treated with respect.
He closed the walk-in centres. He introduced the top-down reorganisation. He cancelled the GP target so people could get in to see their general practitioner. He's broken his promises. Only a Labour government can save the National Health Service.
I certainly look at the proposal that he makes. After all, we backed the Ebola fundraising that was very effective in that excellent England-Scotland International, which raised a serious amount of money for Ebola, and also we also acted on the Band-Aid single, so we'll have a very close look at what he says. Have in common, which is they seek to divide people. We stand for the United Kingdom and bringing people together. Well, my honourable friend will obviously have to wait for the Chancellor and his autumn statement, but as I said a moment ago, we have been able to put more money into the NHS and to make sure that the NHS and social care are working better together, for instance with our Better Care Fund, because we have a strong economy that can deliver those resources. And I'm absolutely committed to making sure we safeguard and improve our NHS, and that means everything to do with our NHS, including, of course, mental health, which she mentioned, of which until recently he was a part, is that we have seen consistent levels of investment into green energy, which is producing jobs in our country. It's also very welcome what's happening on the Humber Estuary and in Hull in terms of the large Siemens investment, which is not just about making wind turbines, but is also going to be a huge, involve a huge supply industry around it as well. Well, I will make sure that my honourable friend has a meeting either with me or with the Health Secretary to discuss this issue. I think it is important. The Care Act makes some very important breakthroughs in terms of providing care for people and making sure there is quality care for people. Also, what I'd add to him is if he does have a high concentration of older people in his constituency, obviously they will welcome when we came to government in 2010. They have gone wrong, that this is properly looked at, investigated, and lessons are learned. And on occasion, we've made sure that serious amounts of money has been recovered from the companies concerned. But what I think we shouldn't do is use one or two bad contracts to fulfil the trade union's dream of ending all contracts altogether. What I want to achieve, which is a renegotiation and then a referendum. And I think Britain is better off inside a reformed European Union. But I have to ask them, what is so many islands and so many far-flung communities, and it's very important it's maintained.
It's tedious, it's low grade. The honourable gentleman will be heard however long it takes. It's as simple as that.
It does need those things, but it also needs the attention that the special measures that Medway is in will bring about. And what we've seen is extra A&E consultants and nurses going in, 112 additional nurses, 61 more doctors, but it will take time to turn round a hospital that did have very high rates of mortality and still has challenges. The only thing I fail to understand is difficult decisions about police budgets. We had to cut those budgets by 20%, but at the same time as doing that, what we've seen is crime has actually fallen in this country, whether you measure it by the National Crime Survey or by the reported figures to the police. On both counts, crime has come down. The other thing that's happened is because the police have done such a magnificent job at reform and efficiency, the percentage of officers on the front line has actually gone up.
Order.